Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving headfirst into the hauntingly beautiful world of Haruki Murakami's most realistic novel, Norwegian Wood. Now, right off the bat, I need to tell you, this isn't just a simple romance. It's the cinematic masterpiece that literally made Murakami a reluctant global superstar. But more importantly, it's a profound meditation on love, the incredibly heavy burden of memory, and the really, really difficult art of emotional survival. If you've ever wondered how people navigate deep emotional emptiness and somehow still find a way to keep moving forward, well, you're absolutely in the right place. So, let's just dive right into it.
We're going to start off with a pretty heavy question. Take a second and really think about this. What if the people we love slowly disappear from our lives, but the memories of them anchor us so heavily that we just can't move forward? What if memory itself became a prison? This single question pulls us right into the reflective headspace we need to really understand our protagonist, and it completely sets the stage for everything we're about to explore about how the past can hold us captive.
Section 1. A song triggers the past. The weight of a melody.
The entire story actually hinges on this massive leap backward in time. Picture this, it's the late 1980s. Our protagonist, 37-year-old Toru Watanabe, is sitting silently in a sterile airport in Germany. Out of nowhere, a familiar melody, the Beatles song Norwegian Wood, starts playing over the speakers, and bam, the present is just gone. Toru is violently pulled 20 years into the past, instantly transported back to the student protests, the emotional confusion, and all those fragile relationships of 1960s Tokyo. It's honestly a perfect representation of how a really simple sensory trigger can just rip open old, hidden wounds.
Moving on to Section 2. The emptiness of sudden loss. When the music stops.
Okay, I want to slow things down a second here. Long before Toru's complicated romantic life even began, there was Kizuki, his best friend. Kizuki was smart, he was funny, and he shared this deep, quiet bond with Toru and his girlfriend, Naoko. But beneath that calm exterior, something was just fundamentally broken. One day, totally without warning, Kizuki commits suicide. At only 17 years old, he's just gone. Murakami doesn't write this death as some grand dramatic spectacle. It's strangely quiet, it's shockingly sudden, and it is deeply, deeply empty. That actually brings us to a feeling many of us have unfortunately experienced: emotional emptiness. This profound void isn't just a plot point, it literally becomes the atmospheric soul of the entire narrative. In the wake of Kizuki's death, Toru and Naoko find themselves drifting together. But they aren't bonding over joy or young love, no. They bond solely through their shared grief. They just spend their time wandering the streets of Tokyo at night, talking quietly, connected by this fragile emptiness. It's almost like they're ghosts in their own lives.
Which brings us to Section 3, torn between two worlds, the gravity of the past versus the momentum of the future.
So after Naoko's mental health rapidly declines following her 20th birthday, she ends up retreating to a remote mountain sanatorium. Toru is left all alone again, and he becomes completely paralyzed in this devastating emotional tug-of-war. On one side, he's anchored to Naoko. She's the total embodiment of sadness, fragile memory, and the inescapable past. But on the other side, this new girl named Midori literally crashes into his life. She is bold, she laughs loudly, and she represents vibrant energy, movement, and maybe, just maybe, a future. Toru is just torn between the tragic gravity of Naoko's grief and the vibrant momentum of Midori's life.
Let's look at Section 4. The tragedy of isolation. Loneliness in a crowded world.
When Toru goes up to visit Naoko at that peaceful but incredibly sad mountain sanatorium, we get a really clear view of the intense emotional isolation plaguing all these characters. It's this harsh, inescapable cycle. First, there's the profound emotional trauma they've both experienced. Next comes a desperate search for physical intimacy, kind of hoping it'll cure their deep loneliness. But then comes the really painful realization. Sex absolutely doesn't magically create an emotional connection. For Toru and Naoko, intimacy only highlights their brokenness, and it actually leads Naoko to disappear even further into her unresolved trauma. It just makes the emotional isolation so much more visible.
And then comes the truly devastating turning point of the narrative. Despite the peaceful sanatorium, despite Toru's promise to wait for her, Naoko commits suicide. It is just a completely heartbreaking moment. Toru is emotionally destroyed. He spends weeks drifting aimlessly across Japan, totally isolated from everyone around him, desperately trying to make sense of life and death. Again, Murakami gives us no dramatic conclusion here, only terrifying honesty and emptiness. This leads us to our final major section, Surviving After the Loss, Reiko's final lesson.
Right in the middle of the terrifying honesty of Toru's wandering grief, Reiko shows up. She's an older woman who served as a guide for Naoko at the sanatorium. They spend one final night talking, and she delivers what is basically the core emotional thesis of this entire journey. She pleads with Toru to stop chasing ghosts, and she starts with these words: "The dead remain inside us." She's acknowledging the permanent, unerasable marks left by both Kizuki and Naoko.
But we must continue living. This is the crucial point right here. It brilliantly pivots the meaning of the entire story. Reiko's lesson proves that surviving loss is not about forgetting. It's about recognizing that you will always carry the past with you, but refusing to let it prevent you from stepping into tomorrow.
So we hit the final scene. Toru finally makes the choice to move toward life. He calls Midori. She asks him, "Where are you?" And Toru's realization is heartbreakingly honest. He says, "I don't know." This ambiguous ending perfectly captures the reality of grief. Moving on doesn't mean you instantly have all the answers. Toru is still confused. He still feels disconnected. Because growing up, Murakami is telling us, means learning how to actually live with the pain, not just magically escaping it.
When we step back and look at the sheer breadth of this journey, it becomes obvious we aren't just looking at a story about a love triangle. We're looking at the messy reality of mental illness, the wild complexities of first love, and that huge gap between physical and emotional connection. These characters aren't traditional heroes out saving the world. They are just deeply flawed, everyday human beings trying to survive their own sadness and figure out who they are. It really shows the staggering breadth of the emotional journey we've taken today.
So, I'm going to leave you with this final thought to ponder. Did Toru truly move on? Or do the people we love just become a part of us forever? I think it beautifully sums up the haunting, unforgettable, emotional realism of our explainer today. Thank you so much for joining me to unpack this masterpiece. Keep seeking to understand the complex stories that make us human, and I will see you next time.